Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher for this week is Neale Donald Walsch. These quotes that I'm using this week are mostly from his books, Conversations with God. And if you haven't read them, or at least the first one, it's well worth getting a hold of it and giving it a read. Marsha, good morning. Danae, good morning. Sunmary, good morning. Hello, beautiful people. Let's get into today's message. Your thoughts and beliefs are 100% responsible for the trajectory of your life. This is a reminder that you can take responsibility for the thoughts and beliefs that you create. And that when you have created new thoughts and beliefs, you've also created a new mind. Linda, good morning. Anne-Marie, good morning. Hello, hello. The first thought from Neale Donald Walsch says, what you hope you will eventually believe. What you believe, you will eventually know. What you know, you will eventually create. What you create, you will eventually experience. What you experience, you will eventually express. What you express, you will eventually become. This is the formula for all of life. What we keep on expressing is obviously what we're becoming. He says, you are the creator of your reality, and life can show up in no other way for you than that way in which you think it will. He says, it is all a question of perception. When you change your perception, you change your thoughts, and your thought creates your reality. Whatever outcome you could anticipate in any situation is already there for you. All outcomes are available. Colette, good morning. Hello, it's great seeing you live with us today. And the last thought by Neale Donald Walsch for today is, by changing your perception, awareness, and actions, you create yourself again and again. By changing your perception, awareness, and actions, you create yourself again and again. Like, if your perception changes, if your awareness changes, if your actions change, you are recreated. You are a new mind. You are a different person. Beatrix, good morning. Hello. Good to see you. Even though we recognize that changing our thinking will change our lives, most people find themselves in a state from where it seems impossible to change their thoughts. That is because your thoughts are your reality. And while you are being your thoughts, you are trapped in the reality created by your mind. In order to change your thoughts, your beliefs, your perception, you have to first become familiar with exactly what all your old thoughts and beliefs are. It's only through a process of learning to take a step back and looking at your thoughts that you are no longer being your thoughts and beliefs. Anthony, good morning, dude. And now that you can clearly see your own thinking as it happens, you are empowered to say, hang on a moment, this is an old thought. This is an old story, and I do not wish to keep repeating this. From now on, I will respond in a new way every time this old story shows up. Meditation is the most powerful way to cultivate your own ability to become the witness to your thoughts. Keep showing up for yourself. Keep changing your inner reality and watch as your outer reality starts changing as well. Our meditation today is called The Observer, which is exactly this process of becoming really good at recognizing thoughts as they happen and saying, this old thought, I'm going to start responding in a new way to it. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of that go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale. We'll have a conversation about being the observer. We cannot change what we have no awareness of. And therefore it always starts with awareness. Anything. I love the term observer, being the observer. In Buddhism, it gets called things like naked awareness. And meant with naked awareness is see it in all of its rawness. Not trying to hide anything. In Buddhism, it's also called wisely seeing, which means seeing all of it without judging, without criticizing, without numbing, without running, without hiding. Wisely seeing all of it. In order to change anything, we have to first and obviously form an understanding of what this is that we want to change, or work on, or make improvements on. The thing is, when it comes to ourselves and introspection and wanting to make changes on something that might feel very sensitive to us, if we have any judgment, if we feel any criticism of ourselves or our thoughts, then a part of us is also trying to look away. Now ask yourself this question: how do I take a good look at what is here when a part of me also wants to look away? I only become really good at observing everything about myself once I've also put down the judgment, put down the criticism, stopped trying to punish myself. First comes awareness, and along with awareness, the next step is put down the judgment. It might take time. Perhaps you're still trying hard to not judge yourself. But if you get this, if you get that it's impossible to take a good look at everything while you're also trying to look away, then at some point the judgment will completely fall away. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. And also lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least as present as we can possibly be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in. And hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, the topic of our meditation is being the observer, becoming the witness of you. And in this moment, as you take a deep breath, as you dive deep inside, just imagine for a moment you can step outside yourself. Take a look at this human sitting there and be reminded that this is someone who is trying. Take your next big breath. I want you to remind yourself of a recent incident where your reaction was probably not optimal. The more recent example you can find, the better. But if it's not recent, and if you have to search further back, that's really okay too. Bring to your mind a moment in which your reaction was perhaps something you're not really proud of, or in hindsight you can see that that was not really helpful. This could be an incident with a family member, someone really close to you. Perhaps your reaction was a complete overreaction. It could perhaps have been with a colleague or a client, or someone providing service to you like a cashier or a waitress. Your reaction to a bad driver in traffic, perhaps? Or perhaps even just your reaction to yourself. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, find yourself an example to work with. Take your next big breath. Now that you have an example to work with, an example of your own reaction, which you understand was not a helpful reaction. And we're going to practice naked awareness, as the Buddhists say. In other words, being able to observe yourself with no judgment, no criticism, no cringing. Are you able to just be the witness to that experience? See it play out again with the intention to understand. In order to help jog your memory as much as possible, as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, could you perhaps remember what you were wearing when this incident happened? And it's really not important that you have to recall that. Just open yourself some more and be curious. What if you could see yourself in that situation and even see what you were wearing? Take your next big breath. Getting a clear look at your unhelpful reaction at this incident. Can you remember what the thoughts in your mind were just before your reaction? What were the thoughts that you were thinking just before you reacted? Take your next big breath. If you were able to time travel for a moment, find yourself in that moment and interrupt yourself just before your reaction. If you could ask yourself this question just before you reacted and go, what is it that you are afraid will happen? How would you have answered that question in that moment? What was it that you were afraid was going to happen? Take your next big breath. Our overreactions always stem from a fear. And when we overreact, it's almost always an attempt to stop something bad from happening. Now take a look at what exactly was your reaction in this example. What did you say? What did you do? What was the expression on your face? What did your body language look like? Take a good look. Don't look away. Take a deep breath. Can you find yourself having acceptance for that human? Can you find yourself loving that human who is just trying to stop something bad from happening? Bring yourself back to this present moment. And now we'll take a step in the opposite direction. We're doing a mini rehearsal. Just imagine the same situation would happen again, where the same trigger happens again, with the same person or in the same set of circumstances. If you could get a do-over, what is the conversation that you would like to have with yourself while you are triggered? When the same thing happens and you can feel yourself being triggered, how would you want to speak to yourself before you react? Take your next big breath. And then, when you are able to catch yourself just before you react, when you're able to have a conversation with yourself before you say or do anything, if you were given the opportunity to redo this, what would you want your response to be? What would you want to say? What would you want your facial expression to be and your body language to be? And don't forget, one of these options might include to not have a response right now at all. You might first take a break and say, I'm going to have to get back to you on this one. Give me a few moments to gather my thoughts. If you could redo this, How would your response be different this time? Take your next big breath. We'll take just one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time today's message from Neale Donald Walsch. What you hope, you will eventually believe. What you believe, you will eventually know. What you know, you will eventually create. What you create, you will eventually experience. What you experience, you will eventually express. What you express, you will eventually become. This is the formula for all of life. You are the creator of your reality. And life can show up in no other way for you than the way in which you think it will. It is all a question of perception. When you change your perception, you change your thought, and your thought creates your reality. Whatever outcome you could anticipate in any situation is already there for you. All outcomes are available. By changing your perception, awareness, and actions, you create yourself again and again. From our example in the meditation, observing your own reaction and rehearsing a new response, it is clear that when we catch ourselves, when we observe and decide to show up differently, when we change our thoughts, then we do show up differently in this world. When we catch old thoughts and create a new response to the old thoughts, then the actions we take in this world are different. And when we act differently in this world, the world around us reacts differently to us. We do create our reality. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our perceptions do eventually manifest in the world around us. But it is within your power to become the observer that creates a depth of understanding of your thoughts, your beliefs, your perceptions. so that you are no longer those old thoughts. That you have practiced a new way of responding to every one of those old thoughts. And when you show up in the world differently, watch and see the world change in response to you. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for all of the beautiful reminders this week from Neale Donald Walsch and Conversations with God. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to be the observer of my thoughts, instead of just being dragged along by my thoughts. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for seeing it so clearly that when I take a step back and I look at the thought, then I'm clearly not being captured by that thought. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to love the human that has all of these old thought patterns. Understanding that all of these old reactions were just an attempt to try and survive. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for doing your work to love the human that you are. Maggie, a very good morning. Great seeing you. Hello. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thank you, Maggie. Have a groovy day, you too. Thank you, Beatrix. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Sunmary. Thank you, Danae. Have a beautiful day, beautiful humans. Thank you, Linda. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.